Can I not marry? Audio web novel chapter 47. Madam, you are a married woman now. Since ancient times such words as elopement couldn't come to light, however it was used confidently by the president. So Du Lacey also took the word elopement that said Lian Jun as a joke, however she didn't expect the next day he would urgently take her to get a passport. After signing the passport paperwork, they hurriedly packed their luggage. They were extremely busy. This made Du Lacey wonder whether the president is actually going to elope with her and run away. It was entirely like a honeymoon. Honeymoon. These words flashed in Du Lacey's mind. This idea shocked her. The president wouldn't use elopement as an excuse to take her on a honeymoon, right? Thinking to this point, her heart couldn't help but develop some nervousness and excitement. You can't blame Du Lacey to have such a reaction. Ever since she married the president, the steps they have taken haven't been many, although they did the steps in reverse order accordance with marriage, dating, confession, but at least they didn't miss any, right? However, regarding the honeymoon thing, she really haven't thought about it before. Which girl didn't like to daydream? When Du Lacey finished school and started working, she would also fantasized about the day she would get married, and go on sightseeing tour with her husband. Her request is not high. Being able to go to Gillen's Pan River, or go see Shilin Gold's grassland is sufficient enough. Who would have thought a few years later a day like this would come? Her daydream turned into reality, and they were going to a much bigger slice of the continent. They're going to Italy. Once thinking about it, Du Lacey couldn't help but sigh. The president's decision is indeed not a simple she haven't even taken a stroll around the country, yet she directly followed the president out of the country to explore the world. This feeling is simply too cool. Before departure, Du Lacey made a phone call to report to her mother. Mom, tomorrow I'm going to Italy with the president. What president? He is your husband. Du Mama couldn't help but feel sorrow for her daughter who lacks sex appeal. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to Italy with my husband. Why does it sound so strange? What are you going to do in Italy? Elopement. What? No. I said we're going on a holiday. It's all the president's fault. He can even say such an old word such elopement using her to be infected as well. Going on a holiday is good Ever since your wedding, you still haven't been on your honeymoon. Take advantage of this opportunity to enhance your feelings for each other. That way I can have my grandson as soon as possible. Go with the wind. Blah blah. Mom. Du Lacey's head had 3 black lines. She fears that if her mother continued to say the plan how to make grandson and buy the soy sauce, since I'm going to Italy, do you have anything you would like to me to buy? What good thing would there be at such a place It's not like you're going to Genoa. I can still ask you to bring me back a ham or 2. Oh, that's right. Whenever you go to Genoa, can you buy a ham or 2 for your dad? Your dad loves ham. Blah blah. Mom. Okay. I'm not going to joke with you. In fact, as long as you bring me back a grandson, it doesn't matter what form or shape it is. When you return to the country you can slowly grow. Du Lacey. After she finished the call with her mother, the next day everything was ready. Du Lacey finally aboard the flights to Italy, taking her first step toward the world. On the plane, Du Lacey felt very excited. Her 2 eyes explore non-stop. On the side Lian Jun smiled while reminding her, sit still, we're about to take off. Oh. Du Lacey poked her tongue out and quiet down. However, not long after, she started to become restless again. What's wrong? Lian Jun turned to the side and saw Du Lacey using her fingers to knead his arm. Du Lacey had a thief-like expression as she said, have you noticed that the flight attendant keeps on staying beside us? Lian Jun raised his eyebrows. She has. Yes, absolutely. She has observed for a long time. Not only did the flight attendant wander around, also from time to time she would diligently ask if the president needed this or that. Could it be you're jealous? President, why must you use such words to speak every single time? Whether she's jealous or not Du Lacey doesn't know, however she is not pleased with the flight attendant's attitude she used while servicing them. Whatever the outcome is she also bought a plane ticket, earning a person money, yet also wanting to take advantage of the person. Even when you want to go into a theater you must purchase a ticket. This flight attendant wants to perv on the president free of charge. No way. For this reason, Du Lacey decided she would try again. She would surely kill the flight attendant with her eyes. Unfortunately, the flight attendants who came a few times have been rebuffed by Lian Jun's words. The flight attendant was also born with some intelligence. After being rejected 2 or 3 times she only peeked at the doorway a couple of times. Although the piece of meat was a fat one, however it was too raw, eating it can easily cause diarrhea. As a new era woman, before making an investment one must estimate the risks. If the risk is too big with little revenue, you'll suffer huge losses. Thereupon, for the longest time Du Lacey's staring has been useless. After staring for a while, she had trouble keeping her eyes open. You can't blame her for being so excited last night. She was constantly thinking of what to pack. Incidentally she came across an article Roman holiday. It's a Chinese version of Audrey Hepburn, thus she ended up reading it all night. As a result, currently she is seriously lacking sleep. During Du Lacey's sleepy state, occasionally her consciousness gradually dim when suddenly a graceful voice penetrated into her ear. "Excuse me, sir, would you like something to drink?" It was that flight attendant again. Du Lacey was suddenly regained some of her consciousness. Originally she intended to shoot some glares over until she heard another sound came through. Hot coffee. This voice wasn't Lian Jun, but it sounds somewhat familiar. A moment later Du Lacey was fully woken by this, because the voice behind added, "I have to trouble you then, beautiful." Addressing anyone as beautiful, this extremely overwhelmed feeling, Du Lacey could only think of two people. One is Chia Kun, while the other is Xiao Yin. Just as Xiao Yin was appreciating the beautiful girl's soaring figure, he suddenly felt an eye shoot over towards him. Turning to the side he was confronted with two blood streaks. Her panda-like eyes jump with fright, then, he suddenly felt his lower body aching. This feeling was hard to forget. He wrinkled his eyebrow while staring at Du Lacey. "Darling, do you know what is called serendipity?" For no particular reason, Du Lacey felt a burst of nausea. "Why is it you?" At this time Lian Jun also discovered Xiao Yin's presence. He couldn't help but frown slightly. Xiao Yin wasn't in a hurry nor appear panicked as he said, "Don't wrinkle your eyebrows at me, I am not a tiger. It's hard not wanting to eat your wife." Lian Chun snorted at Xiao Yin's remarks. Du Lacey found the atmosphere was not quite right. Although last time she got drunk she still didn't know what happened that day, however she faintly felt she could have missed some things that happened. Why else later would the president repeatedly give her the cold face and avoided her questions? In order to resolve the embarrassment, Du Lacey awkwardly laughed and asked Xiao Yin, "Are you also traveling to Italy?" Xiao Yin gave her a wink and replied, "What do you think?" "Think your head are. If you're not going to Italy, then are you ready to jump midway off the plan?" Du Lacey wanted to scold, but on second thought, she thought the question itself was very boring. "Why don't you ask why I'm traveling there?" "Well, why are you traveling there?" "I'm not telling you." A flock of crows flew over from her head. At this time, the flight attendant came over with the coffee. She swayed her hips as she made her way over, staring at Xiao Yin. She enthusiastically smiled. "Sir, your coffee tilde, so sweet." Xiao Yin enchanted a breath of air. Unapologetically he praised her. "This cup of coffee is as beautiful and as fragrant as you." Feeling nausea, Du Lacey almost spit out the dinner she ate last night. However the beautiful flight attendant's sister accepted his flirting methods. She laughed like a blossoming flower. You couldn't blame her. The guy was also a handsome man. Being rejected by Lian Jun a few times, it felt good to receive special attention from a flower boy beauty. Comparing the two, the difference was even more obvious. Once the beauty is pleased, she'll be like aureoles modulating. "Sir, is there anything else you would like? Please give this lady a piece of cake and a glass of juice." This young lady on the side. Why is she pointing towards me? Du Lacey glanced at Xiao Yin. It seems that he is indeed referring to her. Also that young lady is already a married woman. Lian Jun suddenly rather baffling added. Du Lacey was stunned for a moment, before firing up. "What married woman? You are an uncle. This girl here is 18 year after year, I'm an unmarried young woman." As just she finished speaking, Du Lacey felt Lian Jun's extremely distorted expression from 3 meters away. He appeared to have a pair of placid appearance, and lightly reminded her, "Wifey, you are already married women." President, euphemism is a virtue. Didn't the teacher teach you that? Greater than ______, miss, your dessert. When the flight attendant placed the strawberry cake and pineapple juice in front of Du Lacey obviously felt that the flight attendant actually wanted to shout, "Married women," instead. But this is not important, regardless if it's unmarried young women or married women, that is all meaningless. The piece of cake and a cup of juice is the real deal. Du Lacey couldn't help lit her eyes, ready to dig in. Hee. A double cough interrupted her appetite. Du Lacey turned her head to look at the president's threatening eyes. His eyes are clearly saying, "If she dare to eat it then she's dead." This one stare abruptly forced Du Lacey's aroused appetite to disappear. She could only shout in her mind, "Let go of the cake and juice, they are only children." "Darling, is the food not to your liking?" Xiao Yin asked. Du Lacey embarrassingly smiled. "During breakfast, I ate too much." Being in front of the two things and not eating them is simply not giving Xiao Yin any face, so Du Lacey could only stare at the food in a daze. After staring for a while, she suddenly realized something. Strawberry cake, pineapple juice, strawberry, pineapple, strawberry, pineapple, strawberry, pineapple. Oh my god, simply too wicked.